You were told that success would fix everything. That once you achieved enough, earned enough, proved enough, became enough, all the noise inside your mind would finally go quiet. They said success would feel like arrival. Like peace. Like a soft exhale after years of holding your breath. So you ran. You built. You sacrificed sleep, weekends, relationships, and even parts of yourself that once felt sacred, all for that promise. That once you got there, you'd finally feel complete. But here's the truth most people never tell you. When you finally reach that mountaintop, when you hold the trophy, the title, the validation you chased for years, something strange happens. The noise doesn't fade. It amplifies. Because the finish line was never real. It was just another illusion, another mirage in the endless desert of almost there. You stand there, staring at your reflection in the gleam of success, expecting to see peace. But instead, you see fatigue. A quiet confusion. A subtle ache in your chest that whispers. Why doesn't this feel like I thought it would? That whisper is the first crack in the illusion. The first sign that maybe, success isn't the silence you imagined. Maybe, it's just another kind of noise. Success doesn't heal insecurity, it magnifies it. Because whatever wounds you carry into success, you carry with you after success too. They don't disappear when you win. They just hide beneath the applause. You thought the next achievement would finally silence your doubt. But success has a way of turning that doubt into an echo chamber. Every compliment, every cheer, every "you made it" becomes louder, and yet, emptier. Because deep down, you're not hearing them. You're hearing the voice beneath it all, that small, trembling voice asking, what if this isn't enough? What if I'm not enough? And that's when you realize, the chase was never about ambition. It was about fear. Fear of being unseen. Fear of being unworthy. Fear of stopping and facing what silence might say. You were never chasing success for joy, you were chasing it for relief. But the truth is, achievement can't fix what insecurity creates. It only amplifies it. You can win the world and still feel small inside. You can drown in praise and still crave peace. Because the voice you've been running from doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits for the applause to die down so it can whisper. Can we talk now? People see your achievements, but they don't see what they cost. They see the polished highlight reels, the confident smiles, the headlines that say, "Success story." But they don't see the anxiety that comes when the spotlight turns off. They don't see the fear that if you stop running, it'll all collapse. You've built a life that looks perfect, but it's heavy. It's built on pressure, on proving, on never letting your guard down. And that weight doesn't show up in photos, it lives in your shoulders, in your chest, in your sleepless nights. You've learned to perform strength even when you're breaking. Because the world doesn't celebrate rest, it celebrates resilience. It doesn't ask if you're okay, it asks what's next. And so you keep producing, performing, perfecting. Until one day you realize, you've forgotten what genuine joy feels like. Everything has become performance, even happiness. And the saddest part? You don't even know who you're performing for anymore. Maybe it's time to put the mask down. Maybe success shouldn't feel like a costume. There's a voice inside you, one that doesn't care about status, followers, or validation. It doesn't want more, it wants meaning. But you've been drowning it out. With noise. With plans. With endless to-do lists disguised as purpose. You've been afraid of silence, because silence holds truth. And the truth is, maybe you've been building the wrong kind of success, one that looks good from a distance but feels hollow up close. That inner voice doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to be present. It asks simple questions, questions that success doesn't like. Are you proud of who you're becoming? Do your wins still make you feel alive? Would you still do this if no one was watching? Those questions sting, because they reveal something you already know. You've been chasing recognition more than fulfillment. Approval more than alignment. But the beautiful thing about that voice is, it never leaves. It waits. Patiently. For you to turn down the world's volume long enough to finally listen. There comes a day, it always does, when you look in the mirror and can no longer pretend. You see the version of yourself that's tired of pretending everything's okay. Tired of chasing applause that never fills the silence. Tired of smiling for cameras that never see the cracks. And in that moment, something shifts. For the first time, you stop running from the reflection, and start listening to it. You see the truth. That all your achievements, while real and impressive, were never meant to fix you. They were meant to express you. But somewhere along the way, you stopped expressing, and started performing. You built a brand, not a life. A following, not a foundation. And that's why the mirror feels heavy, because it's asking you to meet the person beneath the success. It's not shame that you feel in that moment. It's clarity. And clarity hurts, but it also heals. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. And from that moment forward, every choice begins to change. Maybe success isn't about being admired, maybe it's about being aligned. Maybe real success isn't measured in followers, titles, or money, but in peace, authenticity, and meaning. True success isn't loud, it's steady. It's not the applause after achievement, it's the quiet satisfaction of knowing you stayed honest with yourself along the way. It's waking up excited, not exhausted. It's choosing projects that feed your soul, not just your resume. It's creating from love, not fear. You start realizing, the chase was never the problem. It's why you were chasing that mattered. When you start chasing from wholeness instead of emptiness, everything changes. You no longer run to prove something, you run because you love the motion. You no longer work to be seen, you work because it's an extension of who you are. Success stops being validation. It becomes expression. A mirror of peace, not pain. You finally learn that peace was never waiting at the end of the race. It was waiting at the beginning, in the part of you that believed before anyone else did. The world teaches you to chase more. Peace teaches you to notice what's already enough. The applause will always fade. The spotlight will always dim. But the voice you make peace with inside, that one lasts forever. Because when you stop fighting your insecurity and start understanding it, you realize it was never there to hurt you, it was there to guide you. It showed you where you needed healing. It pointed you toward truth. And in that realization, the shadow of success dissolves. You no longer need to prove. You no longer need to perform. You can finally rest, not because you've given up, but because you've woken up. You understand now. Success doesn't silence doubt. Self-acceptance does. And the greatest win of all is coming home to yourself.